Thanks to those of you who are adding your name and your organization in the chat. We appreciate that. And we've got a recording started. So, Rick, are we ready to go? Or are we giving Alicia another minute? Or what do you want to do? Ready to go?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hey, everybody. I'm Maria Feith, and I oversee this project, which is technical assistance for OACC and the community colleges in Ohio. This phase of our project is focused on open educational resources and helping support the thinking and the growth around that, an important way to help reduce costs in higher education. We're also focused on universal design for learning through the organization known as CAST, as well as recruitment and marketing strategies that faculty can use and work directly with their marketing teams at the campus level. There's also a data component that goes along with this, but for today, we're talking about finding, reusing, and uploading open educational resources, or as they are affectionately known, OER. We're joined today by our own Rick Lumadou. Rick is a director for Skills Commons in Merlot, as am I. Rick and I have worked together in some capacity for about 15 years now. And Rick is a content specialist. He's a technologist and just all around very good person. We love Rick, and I think you will too if you haven't gotten to spend any time with him yet. Anna Bendo is Director of Affordable Learning Initiatives at OhioLink, very knowledgeable and here to help you. OhioLink is the open repository for Ohio community colleges. Alicia Flum, who is an instructional designer and technologist at Columbia State University Community College. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it back over to Rick. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. And thanks everyone for being here today, and really appreciate Alicia and Anna being here as well. So if there's any comments or questions come up for them, they're here to field that. So you can post those in the chat window if you need to, or if there's anything for me, you can post that and Maria will monitor that as well, and we can address those. When I do these presentations, I like to make it really informal. So if there's questions that come up as I'm going through, please don't hesitate to raise your hand or hit the mic and interrupt so we can address that as we're going through. Today will be a lot of information, just a lot of great resources and links and things like that will be presented. Please don't worry about writing and jotting down all the links. They'll be in the presentation, which will be uploaded to Skills Commons, where you can download it and have a copy of the PowerPoint. I think Maria will send that out in a couple of days once everything's finalized in Skills Commons. So we'll give you all the information that you're getting here, as well as a link to the recording if you want to watch this back as well, or for folks that aren't able to attend. So we've got the agenda here today. We're really going to see where we can find OER, what the benefits of using OER are, and then also strategies for using OER. So as we think about it, why are we doing this, right? Ohio's doing all this, and you have programmatic needs. You need to find free instructional materials, quality materials to help people, be open to learn education-wise. So what we did as part of our work, because so many grant projects were having the same issues with OER, finding it, where can I find OER that's dependable, that's quality? I don't have a ton of time to go through and curate all this content. So one of my tasks is I actually ended up creating an OER course. And so it's finding, reusing, revising, and remixing open educational resources. We go through everything around finding where to find educational resources, about licensing, public domain, how to reuse OER, how to relicense it. If you want to use an OER material, how do you give attribution to relicense that? So this course covers all of that. And then we also have great examples of people in Ohio and around the country that have reused OER, and they kind of give their testimony. So we have that as part of that in here as well as examples. Because I know for me, when I first started in OER, it was really difficult because you have a group of people that are really interested in this and want to do this, but there's been a hard time finding the reuse cases. And so one of my tasks was, well, let's create some reuse case tasks, out of what we've done with OER in the last several years with folks that we worked with grant projects, and try to steer that in that direction. So we're going to show you some of those and how people have reused OER as well as part of this presentation. Obviously, we're all busy with time, and if we can take something, content, maybe a PDF for a course or something like that, or a lecture that we can install into our course, maybe we don't have to redo the whole thing. Maybe we only have to redo like 20 to 30% of a course, or even 40, but that saves us time as well and financial costs. Again, open educational resources that anyone can use freely to reuse, revise, retain, redistribute, and remix. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to stop this presentation here, and we're going to go do kind of a virtual tour and show you where all these great resources are, where you can find OER. So I'm going to stop my share here. This might be a good time, Maria. Is there any questions popping up? If not, we'll just go right into the
Not yet, Rick, but I have put the link in for Skills Commons, which is the world's largest repository of open workforce development and educational materials.
Okay, so I apologize here. I want to get to the home page on Skills Commons here. So you get to the landing page, and we showed you last week, you can pretty much put anything in the search window on Skills Commons if you're looking for things like that. Before I do that, I want to show you some resources that we have where we've aggregated OER repositories on the web into one location. And so here we're in our support center. So again, I got there from the Contribute Support Center right here. And then you see we have, all these uh, areas here that people that may be logging in to upload materials, things like that. Again, you see I'm not logged in, but I have access to all this content because it's just open. The only people, again, that need to have a login are ones that are uploading. And so I'm going to go over here to discover materials. Where can I find OER? And so we've got finding materials in Skills Commons, finding more open educational resources, and then some Skills Commons APIs that can be used for other repositories that may want to partner with us. But for now, we're going to look at this one, finding more open educational resources. And what we've done is we created kind of a one-stop shop for Skills Commons. And here we kind of highlight what's in Merlot, Merlot X, virtual labs, and then some of the affordable learning solutions with Skills Commons. And so we kind of describe, what the virtual labs are, mobile apps in Merlot, and then affordable learning solutions. So if we click this one here, so these are going to be on this page here that I'm showing you is kind of contained with Merlot and a lot of the resources that are in the Merlot multimedia educational resources for learning and online teaching repository. And I look at that as that's our partner, kind of the parent of Skills Commons. And it's more, think of it more academic, where Skills Commons is more workforce related. Okay, so if we click this one here, this button here, and we get into a one-stop shop for OER page, and we can see here that we can look for opening licensed material, media elements. We've got things from, different general search bars and windows and repositories, openly licensed course curriculum. You can search through those. These are all, again, they're linked, so you can get to them quickly. You can go by Creative Commons search tool, photo image search by Creative Commons, and you can just see here just a lot of good resources and things like that. Just a one-stop shop for you to find content out there in different repositories outside of Skills Commons. Okay. So I hope that helps there to you can see kind of we got just that one-stop shop. Now within Skills Commons, how to find materials. We've got, like we showed you last time, how to search by window, by different we go up here by material types, by industry, and all those different ways. And again, you see here in the blue highlighted, that's the number of materials in that NAICS code. Okay. So you can go by NAICS code, you can go by SOX code, same thing. The SOX code will show you how many materials are in that area. And you wanted to go by material type. So you're looking for certain content. Maybe you're looking for a developmental tool or some drill and practice materials, some portfolios. Again, you see the number of materials that are there. So let's say we go into a grant management materials and we see all these materials here and they're all hyperlinked. So we can click on it. And if you want to download it, you can download the file right there. Again, I'm not logged in, and I can just download that as I want, and then open it up in my on my computer, and then I can take it and then do some reuse with that. So that's how we find content in Skills Commons. You can go by different projects. So if you know of a project in Skills Commons, like OhioNet or OACC, any of those types of things. If you're looking for a certain institution, you can obviously go by that, and then the zip codes as well. So back here to the Skills Commons Support Center, and now we've got ways on how to take and reuse material in Skills Commons. But what I wanted to show you first was some of the other resources that we have on Skills Commons in our Contribute Center. So let me go back here. This area. And I'll get to the showcases and show you these portals here are curated web pages. For example, the Apprenticeship Showcase, I'll look in here, and these are free training resources that we've curated by industry area. So agriculture, carpentry, electrical linemen, healthcare, HVAC. So you click the HVAC, for example, you'll see some of the guideline examples that they used, and we kind of like highlight, what program they came out of, what state, a little bit of a blurb there you can read up on. Instructional materials for HVAC apprenticeship programs. They're available here. You can click the links and they'll take you to the Skills Commons webpage where you can download that item. If you're looking for career sort resources, we have links to Career One Stop from the Department of Labor, U.S. Department of Labor apprenticeship programs. There's links to that as well. So as you can see, this is very kind of like all in one place where people can find the materials that they're looking for. And if you're looking for soft skills or entry level skills, kind of those things where it's like teamwork, time management, those types of things are available as well. And then a list of different types of materials and utilities and electrical equipment that are arranged here on this apprenticeship program in HVAC. So I hope that's pretty helpful for you. I see Santiago has a hand raised. Go ahead.
Hi, Rick. Thank you. I have a question about the occupation codes. Are those aligned with Department of Labor
Yeah.
codes?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yep. Yep.
Just wanted to
And
double
same with the
check.
SIPs and the NAEP. Yep.
Thank you.
Question. Okay. So those are some apprenticeship resources and how they're curated and aligned here for you to look at. If you want to develop your own, we've got things on how to help you with that. We've got exemplary projects that we showcase as well in manufacturing and things like that. So you can click on those and look at the different states of what they've done. Again, just make it easier for people to come in to find content that they don't have to go through the whole process that we went through, right? It's a big task. You've got your current job, and then you want to do this OER stuff on top of it. And a lot of times it's not valued, and it's kind of the thing that you're doing extra, on top of everything. So a lot of people, this is where they kind of burn out, is like it's just too much to go to that next second and third step is sometimes just too harsh, too hard to do because you've got so many other things to do. So why we want to show you what we have here is to help you and to show you that a lot of those steps have been taken care of. You don't have to like go out there on your own, that you've got people here that have, and not just us, but people that are part of the Skills Commons community that have helped us with this. An example here is how to prepare people that are outside of your of academia to come in and to teach, like from industry, for example. And so we created these courses on how to help people get a jump start in the classroom for new faculty and things like that. So here's a course that helps them to learn how to um, uh, do a course introduction and course management. So I've already preloaded this here. And as you can see, these are storyline files, and they have audio with them. They're interactive as well. And so they're just really, really effective materials for people to use. I'll turn this way down so we didn't have the volume.
Send your answers to the following 3 questions. Who are my students? Where are they coming from? And what stages of life are they? What do I want students to be able to do at the end of my class?
And you can see here, then you've got some different things you can work on at the end and just some interaction and things like that on these learning activities.
Course management.
So
Course introduction.
these are really well done. I think, as you can tell, you know, it's just not junk. It's just not somebody just threw this together and threw it on the internet. But this is careful and very well done. And it was done with a group of people that were committed to OER, and our own Maria Feith is the one who really led the spearhead of that project. And this is being used all over the country by people, both industry and at the institutional level, community colleges and trade schools. So we wanted to make you aware of this. Just a really great resource for all of us to be able to see and to use. So that's in the Jumpstart to Successful Teaching, and there's 3 levels to that. And there's actually one for higher education. There's one that's been tailored for industry trainers to specifically train them, and then for CTE teachers. So this is just a tremendous resource, and I hope if you have need for something like this that you take advantage of it, because it's really, really great. Okay. Let's go back here to OpenCourseWare. We've got the Skills to Work Showcase. This is another great resource of content that's been subject matter expert reviewed. There's a whole complete field guide on workforce integration and things like that to develop a program for your institution in that area as well. And then the Affordable Learning Solution. Now, this is really geared towards the workforce area of OER. So as you think about that, that's where we would consider this site here. And so we've got here career and technical education, lots of great curated content. A lot of this comes out of Skills Commons. Some of it's from Merlot as well. So again, this content is curated by NAICS codes here, as you can see. And so just make yourself aware of that. Again, I know this is like a fire hose dump on you guys of resources, but just know that there's a ton of stuff out here for you to use, and just explore Skills Commons like I'm doing here. Like, you're not going to ruin anything or get in any problems. But that's an affordable learning solution portal that we developed. And then we also have some things that we consider these shovel-ready courses. So they're ready to go. They're everything from foundational courses in math, reading and writing, a basic computer skills course, student success skills course. This would kind of, maybe even could be considered some soft skills course on note taking, study skills, time management. There's previews to these courses. You can also download them. You can put them into your LMS just as they are. Like I said, they're shovel ready to go. So for example, you could just take these courses and put them in your LMS, or take portions of them if you needed them. Maybe you just need a lecture, or you just needed a quiz, or maybe some supplemental material, some reading or something like that. So you can avail yourself that way of those materials. So we got these curated by basic foundational skills. There's a business management course, energy training, healthcare, tons of stuff. I would say manufacturing and healthcare, and IT is just so much material, because the majority of the TACT funding went to that industry sector. Manufacturing, I think, got over 50%, and healthcare was like 35%. And I know you folks in Ohio are doing a lot in manufacturing as well. We've got the soft skills course. We have a basic college skills course for students, first generation students as well. That's available. And then we even created one just as an example here as part of our open courseware in reuse and how to revise and reuse. This one, we created it and tailored it for for CSU Long Beach, Cal State University Long Beach, and just put their logos on it, kind of tailored it for them. But it's basically this course just reused and rewrapped with a new wrapper on it with CSU Long Beach in their LMS. And you could do the same thing with this course. You could download it from Skills Commons, take it out, and reuse it if you wanted to. Again, you could take the materials here, go to the Skills Commons website, to download the zip file, and you can put it in your LMS if you'd like to do that. Okay. Any questions before we go into the OER 101 course here? We doing okay on chat?
Not seeing
Okay.
anything in the chat, Rick.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm still in the support center, right? I'm still, I'm gonna just go back out here and show you guys again how I got in here. Back out to the home page. So I'm going to Support Center and Discover Materials. And let's see, I don't want to do that. Yes, this one. Yeah, let's see, finding.
I think you need another window open, maybe.
Yeah, here it is.
Are you looking for the 101?
Yeah.
The link is in the chat, Rick, if you want to pick it up from there.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was in here as well. The
Yeah, it
OER
is.
101
It is.
course. Okay.
It
Because
is.
I have it up here.
If you go to open courseware in the showcases, you'll find it there.
That's where it was. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, up here. This one. My bad. So homepage. Let's go back out to homepage. Showcases. So showcases. Open courseware showcase. OER 101. Okay. Then we'll go into this course, finding, reusing. We got a preview. You can also download the course if you wanted to put it in your LMS as well, or preview the online course. And so I've already got it open here. And so here is the course, and got it basically organized by different topic headings by hybrid or blended course, where you're going to use what are open educational resources, what's open licenses, public domain, finding OER, attribution licenses, OER reuse, revise and reuse, makeovers, why OER matters, and then open educational resource sites. Again, what I showed you on Skills Commons, but all this is just in one course now. And then educators that reuse OER. So here you can see we got some stuff that explains about how you can reuse OER, about public domain, things like that. And then what are the open educational resources, give you a definition. We've got video on that as well that we've done. And then some other things that were done by others that are using OER and their description of OER. So all that's available here in this course. And then, where do I find OER? So you can go into Merlot. Here's the whole Merlot stuff again that's available. If I want to move online, we've got stuff about how to help people with educational practices, obviously from COVID, but we continue to have people that are moving into to move stuff online. There's information about how to redesign with technology, affordable learning solutions stuff, again, CTE courses, virtual labs, links to those. and then things in Skills Commons that provide, or in Merlot that provide quality of assurance. We've got e-portfolios, links to that. There's the one-stop shop for OER collection and Skills Commons. And then how to find Creative Commons license resources, even like on YouTube and other areas where you can find stuff, finding CC license materials and Skills Commons. We've got, information on how to do that, and screenshots to walk you through all of that. So I hope that those resources there will kind of give you some encouragement. People have gone ahead of you and before you. And what I've tried to do is just kind of pull everything together so you can kind of see it all stacked, and like it's just easier for us to work with versus like going out to this website and you got to link everywhere and just kind of put it into this one course area. Any questions or comments about that first part before we get into how to reuse this stuff and some examples of how OER has been reused? Okay, I'll keep going. So we've got some different categories that OER is being reused, and you can reuse OER just as it is. There's some content that's like that, and we'll show you some examples of that. There's some that you might want to just revise a little bit. You might want to put your school's logo on it. Maybe your own information, personal information, if you're a grant writer, things like that. Because a lot of times people have revised and reused OER in that manner. They might use some administrative materials and kind of just change the headings and names and things like that, but they might use like a tracking tool or something like that where they're doing administrative things. And so we've got examples of that. And then the makeover, we kind of look at that as like extreme home makeover edition, when you think of, how those families will redo a house. Well, this isn't just reuse. This is like taking something that's PDF, for example, or Word document and making it LMS, making it interactive, making an interactive newsletter, making an interactive quiz or something like that. So you kind of read, or making a book out of it, out of an OER that's available. So we'll show you some of those. And then we've got some reuse cases as well. They're PDFs and Word documents that you can download and look at. And then again, how to attribute things and stuff like that. And then if you need to add stuff to your LMS course. So we provide those as well for you. So let's look at just OER reuse. We've got this basic computer skills course in Skills Commons. It was developed by WISC Online, Wisconsin. They have their own online as a state repository, and they developed this for TACT as well, and made it available. And I know a lot of institutions have used this basic computer skills course to help retrain people coming back, wanting to get retrained, especially I would say boomers and late probably Xers or early Xers that don't have a lot of computer skill, and just need to know how to basically use navigation, and just getting understanding of computer, because everything is entry level. And how this came up was in Ohio. It was near Toledo. We were working with Northwest State, and their workforce board member came in and said, "Do you guys have any kind of a computer course to help people? Because we get people coming into the post office, get sent to go to the post office. The post office sends them to us because they're looking to get an email address, and they don't have an email address, so they thought they had to go to the post office to get an email. They send them to the workforce board, and the workforce board said, we can help you get set up with Google and things like that, get you an account, and then they can get registered in the workforce board, because they don't even have an email account to do that." And so they were like looking at this as like gold for them, is like, oh, we can put these people in this course in our hub, right? And they can just take this course online. It's completely free, and they can learn just how to use a mouse, how to point, how to download things and stuff like that, just to kind of give them that initial introduction to what a computer and how to use a computer. I know that sounds crazy to us, that think everybody is just native to it anymore, but there are still people in our society that don't have the access and the opportunity. So this is available to and has been used widely in that. I know Ohio used it as well. So And it's just a great thing that Whisk Online developed for us, for everybody to use. We've got healthcare iPad simulations. This was also done for a healthcare project out of Wisconsin. I know you guys probably aren't working in that area, but just to give you an idea, there was a mechatronics. This was the National STEM group that did this. They did just a fantastic job. And these are hosted in on the online learning initiative at Carnegie Mellon. So you can actually see those materials there and have access there. So these are materials that you just could just reuse. You don't have to put your label on it or anything like that. You could if you wanted to, but these are things that are just really well done enough that you could just actually just take it and just, or even send your students to it just to get some supplemental help and things like that, maybe for homework, things like that. These are just really well done. Now here's a simple thing of just the review, revise and reuse. We've got examples here, and you can click on these links and they'll take you to the Skills Commons website where you'll see those. But we kind of just highlighted here what that looked like. Northwest State out of near Columbus there, I mean Toledo in Ohio did these, and they reused stuff out of Missouri. Again, these were grant management project materials, and so they were able to relabel those and save them some time on that. So there's those examples there. Records Retention Guide, Delaware Community College. They reuse some subject matter expert materials and stuff like that. So that's kind of a little bit more, just kind of second level where you're changing logos, you're kind of customizing it with your information that's pertained to your school, that sort of thing. So we kind of look at that as the next level. And then probably the most intense level is going to be this one is the OER Makeover Showcase. We got our executive director, Jerry Hanley, talking on here on a video, just describing what that's all about and kind of what we look at when we think about those things. And so this is an example here of a PDF that was turned into an interactive newsletter and lesson. And so that's pretty cool. We transferred Word documents into a SoftChalk Cloud online course and made interactivity with it. So you can look at that. That's really interesting and kind of cool to see how that was used. A newsletter, I think this was out of Colorado. Maria's grant project did this when they were working on the Healthcare for CHIO newsletter. So we were able to make an example out of their newsletter and create a interactive newsletter. So that was cool as well. Just some good examples here. And then packaging, delivering, create, converting a Word and PDF documents into an ebook. So this is one that you could kind of look at on a Kindle as an ebook. And then we also did one into an Apple iBook as well. And there's links there on how you can go look at that. And then leveraging your learning management system, how you want to conduct makeovers in that as well. We've got resources to help you with that. This again is going to be probably the biggest lift, probably the heaviest lift. And I know for a lot of faculty that are working, full time in education, this is something maybe you need a little bit bigger stipend for. But if you got some free time, extra time into something you'd like to really look into and delve into, these are really just neat to look at, and just to be able to take the material and make it more interactive and more usable for people is really helpful, and again contributes to all the OER work that's being created out there. And as you can see, these aren't like willy-nilly stuff. Like, this is very good content that people have taken the time and been careful to put those in. And a lot of these materials have then been subject matter expert reviewed by our editorial boards in Skills Commons. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. Now, how that affects is, again, we have material on here and information on how, once you've taken something and you've made it over, how do I give attribution to the person that created it originally, and how do I put my own license on it? And so we walk you through that. We got videos here as well. Again, the different types of licenses that are out there, and then the information here that you can copy and paste onto into your Word document or PDF or whatever you created video, and take that license with you and put that on there. And then you can make sure that you're properly attributed, the person that originally created it, as well as, you create a commons license on. So you will be cited for for the next iteration of that. And it just continues to get better and better.
So Rick, a question that people might be having is, why would I license my content and put it out there for just anybody to use? What's the purpose?
To continue to improve it, there's the one thing. It does help reduce costs, but it also helps reduce costs for students, but it helps to improve the content because you have more than just yourself looking at it. You have other experts in your field that are also looking at it and adding to it, like just making it better. It's like the iterative process, that next generation continue to improve it. And and then make it available, put it in a repository or create a mechanism where it's available for other folks to be able to download it. Whether you upload it to YouTube, it's a video, for example, right? Or you put it into Merlot or some Ohio link or another repository where folks can find that content.
And just one other note on that too. For some time now, the Fed has been saying if you're developing content using federal dollars, then we ask that you openly license it so that we can leverage that hard work and other people get to benefit from the effort and the money that has gone into those workforce development projects. So there are a number of reasons why somebody would want to license their own content and make it available openly like that. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, I also look at that too as things change, right? We're in the digital age. You look at that as citations. People are reusing your work. That means something. It's like I look at that as like a citation as a journal, or somebody citing some research that you've done or whatever. I mean, same thing. It's like if they're citing your content as an attribution, that says something, towards tenure and promotion. So I think that's good. Great. So who else is using OER? Is it just these goobers over in Skills Commons Merlot, and then a few people then got trapped in this at OACC? No, this is I think a really great effort. As Maria was talking about, it just really increases our overall ROI, right? Return on investment. But it's a fun community as well, and just to see what people are doing. Bernie Goski in Ohio and LCC. So I know she retired a few years ago, but they've got a great story. John Millam out of Virginia, and the great work that they did. They actually created their own collection, didn't they, Maria? Like a repository, a knowledge to work skills database. That's really neat. Healthcare Montana, they've done some awesome things as well. They actually reused. I believe it was them, wasn't it, Maria, the Jumpstart? Didn't they revise that for themselves?
The South Dakota actually
okay.
is putting that to work fully with all faculty, adjunct and tenured.
Yeah, and then here's some more the outside of the TACT program, just other people around the country that have used it at Everett Community College, and their experience as well. So I wanted to include those as well, so it's not keep getting the same thing over and over again. There's new faces. There are other folks that are using this material, that are a part of this project. I sometimes refer that to our executive director when I first started with him. And I said, sometimes I feel like we're on the island of misfit toys. It's like you want to find people that are part of your group. It's like, oh, we're all doing this, and they're out there. There's a community out there, and hopefully this gives you encouragement to see that others are doing this and are part of this. And if you want to be a part of it, you're welcome to be in our group, and we'll do everything we can to help and support you and provide what you guys need to be successful with this grant. I think that's all I have to share on the web tour. I just have a couple of things on the slideshow presentation, but before I stopped here, I just wanted to see if there was anything else anybody wanted to see, or any questions anyone had before we go back to the slideshow. And we don't have much to go after that. So if you have any questions or you want to comments about anything, we can do that now.
Feel free to unmute yourself or to type your questions into the chat.
Okay. Okay. Last time, Anna, I think you talked about the open author tool you have on Ohio Link and some other things. Here's just some other tools we just threw out there as well. Different tools you can use that are out there. Soft Chalk, Skills Commons, Merlot Content Builder. You can also create OER in there as well. We like Soft Chalk. I also have used the Moodle instance, which was what we showed you on the web tour, is our free instance of Moodle admin. But you guys all have Ohio Link, so it seems like that's great. And Open Author's probably up to date on all the accessibility and ADA stuff, so you're good there. So stay within that ecosystem. You're going to be safe. So that would be my encouragement, is to you want to be proactive on the front end instead of have to retrofit everything ADA compliant. So again, add your OER where others can reuse, revise, retain, remix. We got you guys are going to all put that in Ohio Link. Remember, there's stuff in Skills Commons and Merlot as well. I really appreciate being able to share this with you guys today. And I think if you just take your time when you have time, I know you all are super busy at this time of the semester, but this resource is here. You can come back to it later and look at it and spend some time in it. But if you've got questions in the meantime, I'm your shortcut. So just shoot me an answer, or I mean a question, and I'll get you an answer as soon as I can. So don't hesitate. That's why I'm here, to help you guys. So if there's any Q&A, available for that. Otherwise, Maria, I'm going to turn it over to you. You want to talk a little bit about that tracking tool, and we'll wrap it up. You're muted, Maria. Yeah.
Sorry about that. One of the things that is a little difficult for us as a support team is to know for sure how you are using the content that's being shared, and how you are, what kinds of things are you running into when you do use it. And so I'm going to put a link in the chat that leads to what you're seeing on your screen, this tracking tool. And these first few are just some samples, so you can get a feel for how it is we're hoping to see you use it. I want to really emphasize that this is non-evaluative in nature. We're not trying to determine how good you are at using it. We're just trying to determine if there's a place where somebody could use some extra support, if there's a place where there's quite a bit of growth going on, and we can share it as a potential point for others to use as a support mechanism as they grow their own efforts at their own campuses. And so you're welcome to put your content right into the Google Doc. If you would prefer that if you prefer to download it so that your name's not out there, you're welcome to do that too. So you can send it directly to me, and I'll put my email into the chat here in a few minutes. And so we really are hoping that you will help us with this step. Looks like Anna is saying, Anna, why don't we just open the mic up to you? We've got time to do that. Do you want to say a couple of things?
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I know I spoke last week, so I don't want to take up too much time, but if any of you have open content that you're working on, either for this grant or for other things that you've been working on in your courses that you want to share in the Ohio Link Open Course Content Repository, I'm happy to help you do that. So my email is there in the chat. You can reach out to me if you have it built somewhere else and you just want to share a link. It's great. If you want to actually try to build it in the Open Author tool, I can help you get set up with that. So just let me know. Again, like Rick said, I'm here to help as well. And I know most of you are probably familiar with this, but I know in the beginning we talked about Ohio Link, but it's also much broader. Ohio Link is obviously all of the academic libraries at your colleges and universities, not just OER stuff. So I just focus on kind of that affordable learning OER piece of Ohio Link, but Ohio Link is much broader. So if you have other questions or you want me to put you in touch with other people as well at Ohio Link, I'm happy to do that. I just wanted to jump in and say that.
Thank you, Anna. And that's important. It is a strong support mechanism for Ohio community colleges. So we hope that you'll spend some time in Ohio Link, wander around if you haven't already, and reach out to Anna if you have additional questions. Thank you so much. Next slide, Rick, I think is yeah, okay. So our next webinar is next week, Tuesday, the same time. And Rick, can you tell us a little bit about the content? I understand we're going to have some case studies
Yeah, it's
shared.
going to be great because we're actually going to have some real live examples from your colleagues. The next week we'll be doing some showcasing what they've done and how they've used OER in the course builds that they're doing. So and then their courses will be OER. So I'm really looking forward to what they've done and to see really much what we've been talking about. They're going to show us how they produced it. So I'm really excited to see those examples next week, and I think all of us are going to just get inspired and see how other folks are doing it. And it's just very helpful when you see another example, right? I mean, you saw these today, but now we'll see 2 more. And I'm really happy to do that. I think it'll just help all of us. So thanks, Maria.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. And that's 3 of 3 webinars presented on OER, which have kind of scaffolded the knowledge base. And so next week will be true application, and you'll be able to see how content is being used in that way. So we're looking forward to that. The webinars that will follow, we're going to take a break so that you have time to close up your semester and graduation and take a breath and all those things. And then in June, we'll pick it up again with the faculty-led recruitment strategies and marketing toolkit. And then we're going to do a little series on data and talk about data storytelling as the close for this workshop series. That's late in July, and that's going to be a cool event. And we're excited to be able to share that with you. I want to thank a couple of our team members today. Andy Feith is here in support of you, and so is Gerard Melançon. Andy is a K-12 specialist, expert, been in the business a long time, and Gerard is workforce, has an impressive background and resume, and they are a part of this team as well. So thanks to both of you, and thank you to Rick for all of this fantastic effort that you've put forth to bring us this content, and to Anna and Alicia for the work that you do every single day to support Ohio community colleges. We appreciate you so much. And Rick, let's see, just one more. Let me just make sure. Yeah, if there's nothing else, I think I'll be good. Anybody else? Okay, everybody. Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Mhm.